This has been a year of growth, a tremendous year of growth. For I have grown, we have grown, and we will continue to grow as individuals, as a community, as members who love and respect and care for one another, and as children of God. What our church community is involved in and involved with, and how we affect one another in the community amazes me. As I ponder each ministry, each effort, each project, I am just amazed. We have a hospitality group of people who have come forward and offered. The Gilchrists lovingly provide the lemonade stand, they like to call it now. Our altered coffee hour has been just tremendous, and people come forward and offer food and offer to carry tables and so forth and so on. The Building and Grounds Committee in the past year has finished the steeple project, improved the fire alarm system. We've switched to a different company, had a different alarm system put in. That is saving us some money. Windows are badly in need of some care, and that process is underway. It will not be a quick process, however, which probably won't surprise you in this day and age of having to wait for construction people and supplies and so forth, but we are on that. Care and in-reach team, that continues informally. And our care people who want to reach out to those in our community who need visitors or who need communion or who need, that is happening and will continue to become more formalized as the year goes on. I have to thank Kathy DeSilvi for her gentle but consistent requests for that ministry to really take shape, and to Judy, who always is involved. The Flower Guild, I've been able to see how those flowers will often enhance weddings and funerals and memorial services and concerts and people's lives. When Lynn and I were doing the dinners this summer, Nancy Pierce offered to do flowers for that second dinner, and they were just beautiful, and that just was so helpful. Religious education continues. The adult forum in its sort of second phase will happen a couple of weeks after Labor Day in mid-September. And Regina is, as we speak, contacting families to begin the youth program in mid-September. So hopefully those families will feel more secure in sending their children to a religious ed program. Outreach, never thought it would be able to continue without Sue Grindle, for good reason. She's just been an amazing leader for 10 years. And guess what? Sarah is filling her shoes and then some. That committee is the largest group we have at St. Francis, and it is powerful. Please take a moment, if you read nothing else in the annual report, please read the report on outreach. It's the amazing things that are going on, networking with community organizations, reaching out to people in need, both as an ongoing kind of a project and as emergencies. When Sarah or anybody else gets a call from someone in desperate need, we respond. Outreach responds immediately and generally gives more than what is being asked. I thank that whole group. Music. Do I even need to talk to you about music? All I can say is I walked in this morning and I got goosebumps when I was listening to the music people practice. It's just amazing. There's not a cathedral on earth that can hold a candle to the music at St. Francis by the Sea. And I mean that. Altar Guild and servers. I wonder how many times we've said this. We need some people. Altar Guild is in need of some more volunteers, and altar servers could use the same, but I thank all of them because not only do they get busy on Sunday mornings, but sometimes we forget about weddings and funerals, memorials, events where their service are needed. And I always have people volunteer. It's beautiful. Ushers and readers, I thank you, Katie McLeod. What a heck of a job that is to put that schedule together. And there are always bumps in the schedule and revisions, and she just does it with a smile on her face. Finance. I don't know why Kevin isn't being paid $300,000 a year for what he does. You know how you never know what somebody does until you get close to it, until you see the results a little closer up. And I just shake my head all the time and say, what? How many hours is he putting in? And how many funds is he overseeing? And thank you. Stewardship people. Again, the Gilchrists are just doing a beautiful job. We will continue to regularly share with you what is happening so that you can see the vitality of our group and the need for stewardship. Thank you. The technology, that we have a dynamic duo, and they have just, we thought with new equipment, all the work would just become easy. And of course it isn't. Bob frequently says he needs a little fence back there with a sign on it that says, do not talk to the technology people until the end of Mass. They're just doing a beautiful job, and I thank you so much. The communications people, Barbara and Judy, are in regular communication with each other about what needs to be communicated across the board. And they're only two people, but I want to thank them specifically and sincerely for years and years of keeping us in the know. I want to emphasize a need for transparency. That's been emphasized to me by multiple sources many times, very gently and kindly. And I know there's work to be done, but it's so important that we are honest and open communicators, that if there are concerns or suggestions or complaints or grumblings, that we not only share them with the vestry or with somebody who can do something about it, but that we do that honestly and openly without expectations of confidentiality. We can only fix things that we know about, and we can only improve upon things where we have the facts. So don't hesitate to communicate those things to us. I have just a brief announcement. Patricia Brady's funeral, Barbara's mother's funeral, will happen this Thursday at 11 o'clock at St. Mary's Catholic Church in Bangor. We will be providing some small reception. Barbara does not expect a great many people there, but there will be some food and coffee, and she appreciates all the cards and notes and so forth that are coming her way. And then another thank you, I'm not sure how I can do this, but to Sarah Everdell, my deep gratitude. I don't often cry, but I cry when I think of her leaving. We have been a real team, and I can't tell you, probably twice a week I call looking for her wisdom, for a listening ear, for her opinion, suggestions, help. And it's just been given in spades. She is a wise woman and has, you know, the adage, I couldn't have done it without you, is literal here. I could not have done this year without Sarah Everdell, and I hate to see you step aside here, but hopefully. And to my husband, John Paul, for being here. I married well. He's been just a terrific help in every way possible. I won't even go into all the times that he's listened to me moan or complain or need this or that or the other, and he just does it. So thank you. I want to take a moment to read Father Brents' proposal. He put this proposal forth to the Vestry a week and a half ago or so, and the Vestry approved his proposal. But I want, and you received this by email this week, but I want to read it just in case you didn't see it. Good day, everyone. I hope you all are well as the summer season comes slowly to an end. Me? Well, it's kind of day by day. No days are all good, but then again, very few are all bad. Some of my own research on headaches has opened up a possible lead, which I will discuss with my neurologist at Massachusetts General Hospital next week. Who knows? Today, August 22nd, is my first day of long-term disability. During the past 6 months of short-term disability, I've been on the church payroll with the pension group covering a substantial portion of my compensation. But that was short-term. Long-term disability is the long haul. In effect, I am technically medically retired. Now my pay and benefits will be covered completely by the pension group. It is good coverage. I'll receive 70% of my salary until actual retirement, and they will cover health insurance for the next 23 months. Sure, there are challenges there, but this coverage ensures that this is not a homelessness event like so many people face with debilitating illness. There's a lot of flexibility here. I can come off disability at any time, as well as go back on if things flare up again. I can work, no problem, including at church. This is all good news. Attached is a letter that I would like to send to the congregation after we have spoken on Wednesday, which was our Vestry meeting. This is what I would like to speak to you about. Number one, I want to remain your rector. Number two, I'm not there yet, and I don't know how long it will be before I can work part-time. The church is doing great, but you cannot be without settled, ordained leadership for too much longer, particularly in this post-COVID season where this community has been through such trying times. After a good conversation with Bishop Brown, I'd like to discuss this proposal with you all. One, to begin to do limited part-time ministry after Labor Day. Unfortunately, I still can't reliably make commitments to be specific places at specific times, and some of the cognitive disruptions make even the idea of trying to lead worship seem insurmountable at the moment. I recommend you consider a very part-time interim with a heavy focus on leadership worship on Sundays. The variety of preachers and celebrants is great, but even the best potpourri goes flat after 6 months. Having a consistent presence on Sundays could go a long way, particularly if point 3 below doesn't go the way I hope it does. Number two, in 2 months, October, we'll review the situation. If things are still looking good to all parties, we continue as is. Number 3, after another 2 months, early December is what the vestry decided, we'll review the situation again. At this point, though, the bishop and I both agree that if I'm not able to come back, or if my return is imminent pending some treatment or recovery time, that we dissolve our pastoral relationship and seek a new rector. I do not want it to come to that, but as much as I love you all and this community, I cannot serve you in the way a rector needs to serve, the way my health is now. God willing, I'll find healing, and God willing, it will be in a time frame that works for all of us. But if not, the work of St. Francis needs to continue with solid, stable, ordained leadership. And then he sends his love and signs off. So with that in mind, we are in talks with a couple of our supply priests to get a more regular supply person for Sundays. And we should know more about that this week and next. And from there, we will have to have a variety of people occasionally. So we'll see. Donna Downs is the person I'm speaking with this week. She seems open, but she heads to Europe on a couple of trips and then has a wedding in January. So we'll need fill-in people, but I don't think it will be a different person every week the way it has been this summer. We will be fine. And hopefully Brent will be as well. Any questions so far? Yes, Judy. So the question is about pastoral care. Are Zoomers able to hear questions? I'll repeat the question or take a mic around, which might be better, you think? Okay, Judy's question is about pastoral care. We have a plan, are working on a plan for getting a more consistent priest to do Sunday services, but what about pastoral care? Steve Hayward has been on contract to do our pastoral care, but he just this week met with me and he needs to back away from that now. He is willing to do an occasional emergency pastoral visit if he's able to, but he will no longer be our regular person. So we're working on that. Donna is willing to do that if and when she can, and we'll have something in place that might include more than one person. But yes, it won't be perfect, but it'll be fine. Anybody else? Questions, concerns? Okay. I have 9 people on this list in front of me who have been our supply people this summer. I don't know any other church on earth who has 9 people at its disposal who are just tripping over themselves to help us and to share in this wonderful community. Steve Hayward, Alan Sandlin, Elaine Hughes, Donna Downs, Tim Boggs, Regina Christensen, Jenny Reese, Carlton, and Laura Inskall, our visitor. Some of those people we'll be saying goodbye to over this summer, but I just want to give them a deep thank you as well. And we are in good shape. So any other questions? And we'll move on to the Emily Award, unless I'm sorry. Nominations first. We have to do elections.
Melissa very kindly said she couldn't have done this job without me, but I would like to suggest that nothing would have gotten done without Melissa. I'm constantly reminded that this is a volunteer job. And Melissa has been working 110%. And so she's an extraordinary person, and it has been my pleasure. And I think all of our pleasures to work with her and be under her leadership. That said, she has agreed to be senior warden another year. So the nominating committee, which consisted of Bob Publicover, Kate Mulrennan, Ruth Billings, and Katie McLeod, nominate the following for Vestry for the class of 2025: Bill Gould, Rudy Heilner, and Dennis DeSilvi. For senior warden, Melissa Lalonde. For junior warden, Rudy Heilner. And delegates to the diocese convention are Chris Ramsey, Katie McLeod, Bob Publicover. Do I have a second? All those in favor? All those opposed? Thank you very much.
So Bill Gould has agreed to do another term on the vestry. Lynn Urosco is leaving us because she has found that her niche is events and fundraising. That's what she really enjoys, and that's what she's really good at. She feels less as a contributor to vestry than as those other things. So I want to thank Lynn for the fundraising and the events that she has led this year, and just let her know we're going to miss her on the vestry. And thank her for her service. And the Emily Award. Now, I didn't even ask permission to read this, but you know, the old, don't ask permission, just ask forgiveness. I want to read you a letter from Mary Hartley regarding the Emily Award. Here is my reasoning and nomination for the Emily Award 2022. This has been an unusual year for St. Francis, and it is not difficult to think of the many people who have gone above and beyond during this past year to preserve, continue, and strengthen the St. Francis by the Sea ministry, both within the congregation and without. Faith, ingenuity, skill, tenacity, sense of humor, hard work, generosity, and caring for one another have fortified this congregation and this place we are blessed to call our spiritual home. All are hallmarks of this year and of the St. Francis by the Sea community. Therefore, I nominate all of the people of this amazing congregation for the Emily Award for 2022. From the members and people Zooming to those in the pews, whether members or visiting, from our rector to every single guest celebrant and sermoner, from the vestry to all of the committee chairs and members, from our outreach to those in need, to our inreach for those we hold dear, from the musicians to the readers, to the servers, to the ushers, to the flower arrangers, to the altar guild, from the Zoom guru to the bulletin and service organizers, from the sextant to the mowers, from Barbara to the treasurer, from the study groups to the special events implementers, to the coffee and lemonade planners, for those for whom we pray, to those who pray for us, and for all who kept the faith and nourished this congregation, I am honored to call this church my home. You all did not win. However, you've done a hell of a job. The person who did win is among us. And this person, in my notes, I call the gentle superhero. This person has long deserved this award. And I just can't say enough. Kevin, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Kevin, hi. Kevin, your plate or bowl is being created. It wasn't quite finished on time. It needs another firing, but it's being created by Heath's father-in-law. And he's really excited to be doing this for you, for us. So he has one more firing and he has to let it dry. He promised it by Thursday, so hopefully we'll get it to you. And thank you. Oh, Judy says, make you come up, Kevin. He's very comfortable with this role. You can see. He's just... No. And with that, one more call for questions or concerns or suggestions. Just know we're here. Thank you. We are adjourned.